The meditation hall smells of incense and suffering. I kneel on the wooden floor, my freshly shaved head exposed to the cold air that seeps through the temple walls. My scalp still burns from the razor's passage this morning. The third time this month Carter has demanded I shave it all away. 7 years. 7 years of this purification he insists will cleanse my corrupted soul. My name is Aaron and I'm 28 years old, though I feel ancient. Once I was considered beautiful, delicate features, soft brown hair that fell in waves, a slender build that turned heads. Carter used to trace my jawline with his fingers and call me his treasure. Now he won't even look at me without disgust clouding his dark eyes. You will fast for 2 weeks, Carter announces, standing before me in his meditation robes. His voice carries the cold authority of a stranger. Water only. Perhaps hunger will drive the impurity from your flesh. My stomach clenches. The last fast nearly killed me. Carter, please. Do not speak my name with that lying mouth. His hand trembles at his side, the only sign of emotion he allows himself anymore. Nora told me everything. The men you've been seeing. The hotel rooms. Your depravity knows no bounds. Nora. Always Nora. My best friend since college, the woman who stood beside me at our wedding, who held my hand through my mother's funeral. The woman who has been systematically destroying my life for 7 years while wearing a mask of concern. I've never been unfaithful, I whisper, my voice breaking. Please just listen to me. She's lying. Enough. Carter's shout echoes through the empty hall. I have meditated on this. I have sought guidance from the Dharma. Your karma is blackened with sin, and only through suffering can you hope for redemption. He turns away, his robes swirling around him like a shroud. 2 weeks. Contemplate what you've done. The door closes with a finality that crushes my chest. I press my forehead to the cold wood floor and let the tears come. They fall silently as I've learned to cry, without sound, without notice, without hope that anyone will care. The first 3 days are manageable. Hunger is an old companion now, familiar in its gnawing persistence. I spend my time in this small room Carter has designated as my purification chamber, surrounded by Buddhist texts I can no longer bear to read. Once these teachings brought me peace. Now they're weapons used to justify my torture. Nora visits on the 4th day. Aaron, sweetie, she coos, settling gracefully onto the cushion across from me. She's dressed in designer clothes, her makeup perfect, her long black hair glossy and healthy. Everything I've been denied. You look terrible. Are you eating enough? The audacity of her concern nearly makes me laugh, but I'm too weak. You know I'm not. You know exactly what Carter's making me do. Oh, honey. She reaches for my hand and I'm too exhausted to pull away. If you would just admit what you've done, he might be more lenient. This denial only makes things worse. I stare at her, really look at her, and finally see it, the satisfaction glittering in her eyes. The small smile playing at her lips. She's enjoying this. Why? My voice is barely a whisper. Why are you doing this to me? For just a moment, her mask slips. Because he should have been mine. I saw him first, loved him first. But he chose you, delicate, pretty little Aaron. Well, now he sees what you really are. Before I can respond, she composes herself, the concerned friend sliding back into place. I should go. I'll pray for your redemption, Aaron. She leaves and I'm alone with the truth I've always known but couldn't prove. On the 14th day my body gives up. I'm lying on the floor, too weak to rise for morning prayers. The room spins even when I close my eyes. My heartbeat is erratic, fluttering like a dying bird in my chest. Carter, I try to call out but my voice is gone. The darkness at the edges of my vision creeps inward. My last thought is a simple one. Finally this ends. I wake to birdsong and sunlight. My eyes flutter open, and I'm staring at a ceiling I recognize but shouldn't be seeing. This is our bedroom, the one Carter and I shared before he moved me to the temple quarters 5 years ago. The walls are painted the soft blue I chose when we first moved in together before everything went wrong. I sit up and my hand flies to my head. Hair. I have hair. Soft, full, falling to my shoulders. What? My voice sounds younger, stronger? I scramble out of bed and catch my reflection in the mirror. I'm 21 again, my face unlined by years of suffering, my body healthy and full. This is me from 7 years ago, from the beginning of our marriage. I'm dreaming, I whisper. I have to be dreaming. But my reflection doesn't waver. When I pinch myself, it hurts. The bedroom door opens and Carter walks in, his hair wet from a shower, wearing nothing but a towel around his waist. He's younger too, his face open and warm in a way I'd almost forgotten. Good morning, beautiful. he says, smiling that devastating smile that made me fall in love with him. You're up early. We don't have to be at brunch with Nora for another 2 hours. Nora. The name hits me like ice water. This is the day. The very first day Nora started her campaign. I remember now, she was going to tell Carter she saw me having coffee with a colleague, would twist it into something sordid. Cancel it. The words come out sharp, urgent. Carter's smile falters. What? What? She's your best friend. You've been looking forward to this all week. Please, Carter. Trust me. Cancel it. He studies me, concern replacing confusion. Aaron, what's wrong? Are you feeling okay? How do I explain this? That I've lived through 7 years of hell and woken up back at the beginning? That I know exactly how this ends if we don't change course? I take a shaky breath. I had the most terrible dream. About us. About our future. Please, just this once, can we skip brunch with Nora? Carter crosses the room and pulls me into his arms. He still touches me like this here in this time, and the contact nearly breaks me. I've been starved for his affection for so long that this simple embrace feels like coming home. Of course, baby, he murmurs against my hair. We can do whatever you want. But you're scaring me. What kind of dream? I burrow closer, breathing in his scent, sandalwood and cedar. The kind where I lose you. Where you stop loving me. His arms tighten around me. That could never happen. Aaron, I love you more than anything in this world. You know that, right? I did know that once. Before Nora's poison seeped into everything we were. I love you too, I whisper. More than you could possibly know. Over the next few days, I navigate this second chance with careful precision. I know every lie Nora told, every seed of doubt she planted. I'm not going to let her win this time. Carter notices the change in me immediately. You've been distant with Nora, he mentions one evening as we're cooking dinner together. This is something else I've missed. These domestic moments of quiet partnership. She's called 3 times today and you haven't answered. I've been thinking, I say carefully, chopping vegetables while he handles the meat. About our friendship. About whether it's as healthy as I thought. Before we dive into this twisted, reborn, revenge and redemption, emotional love story, if you are obsessed with reborn and revenge stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also comment on the story, and don't forget this story is an original work of MeBL Stories, no copyrights. If you see this story in another channel, please report that channel for copyright and theft. Now let's dive in. He looks up, surprised. What brought this on? Just a feeling. Intuition. I set down the knife and turned to face him. Carter, if someone told you something about me, something bad, would you talk to me about it first? Before believing them? His brow furrows. Of course. Aaron, where is this coming from? Promise me. No matter who it is, no matter how much you trust them, you'll always come to me first. You'll give me a chance to defend myself. Carter crosses to me, tilting my chin up so I meet his eyes. I promise. But you're worrying me. Has someone said something? Not yet. But they will. I lean into his touch, savoring it. And when they do, I need you to remember this conversation. Remember that I've never lied to you, never betrayed you, never been anything but faithful. I know that, baby. I've never doubted you. The certainty in his voice is like a knife to my heart. Because I know it won't last. I know that in the original timeline, Nora's lies were so carefully constructed, so thoroughly proven with manufactured evidence, that even Carter's love couldn't withstand them. But this time I'm prepared. Nora makes her move 2 weeks later, right on schedule. She calls Carter while I'm in the shower, and when I emerge, I can hear him talking to her in the living room, his voice low and serious. Are you sure? He's saying. Aaron would never. No, I understand. Yes, I'll talk to him. Thank you for telling me. My heart races as I dry my hair, pulling on comfortable clothes. Here we go. Carter enters the bedroom, his face troubled but not yet closed off. This is the crucial moment, the first test. Aaron, I just got off the phone with Nora. He sits on the edge of the bed and I join him. She said she saw you at a hotel downtown yesterday with another man. That you looked intimate. In the original timeline, I panicked. I tried to explain, got defensive, made it look like I had something to hide. This time I'm calm. I was at the Riverside Hotel yesterday, I confirm, watching his eyes widen slightly. I had a meeting with James Chin from the marketing firm about the nonprofit campaign I'm working on. We met in the lobby cafe at 2 p.m. I have the receipt on my phone, and I'm sure the hotel has security footage if you'd like to verify. I pull out my phone, showing him the receipt, the calendar invitation for the meeting, the email chain with James discussing logistics. Nora said you were checking into a room together, Carter says slowly. Nora is lying. I take his hand, holding his gaze. Carter, I love you. I would never ever betray you. But I need you to think about why Nora would lie about something like this. What does she gain? I can see the wheels turning in his mind, doubt creeping in, not doubt about me but doubt about Nora. Let me call the hotel, he says finally. Not because I don't believe you, but because I want to shut this down completely. Of course. Call them right now. He does. 5 minutes later, he has confirmation that I was indeed in the lobby cafe, never checked in and left after exactly 1 hour, the length of the business meeting. Carter ends the call and sits in silence for a long moment. Then he pulls me close, pressing his face into my neck. I'm sorry, he whispers. I should never have questioned you. You didn't question me, I correct gently. You verified. There's a difference. And now we know that Nora is willing to lie about me. The question is why. We begin to dig into Nora's past, and what we find is disturbing. Carter hires a private investigator, something I never thought to do in the original timeline. Within a week, we have a file full of Nora's obsessive behavior. Photos she's taken of Carter without his knowledge. A journal filled with fantasies about their life together. Evidence that she's been sabotaging my professional relationships for years. She's been in love with you this whole time, I tell Carter as we review the evidence together. And she's been trying to remove me from the picture so she could take my place. Carter looks physically ill. I never gave her any indication. I've never thought of her as anything but your friend. I know. This isn't your fault. But there's more. The investigator has uncovered a pattern of behavior spanning back to before I even knew Nora. 2 previous women, both in relationships with men Nora wanted. Both relationships destroyed by eerily similar campaigns of lies and manipulation. We need to go to the police, Carter says, his voice hard. This is stalking. Harassment. We have evidence of her criminal activity. I should feel vindicated. In the original timeline, I died believing I was alone, that no one would ever believe me or defend me. Now I have everything I dreamed of, Carter's trust, proof of Nora's guilt, justice within reach. But as we sit in the police station filing the report, I feel something unexpected, pity. Nora is sick. Her obsession has consumed her life, twisted her into someone capable of cruelty I never imagined. Yes, she needs to face consequences. But she also needs help. The night after Nora is arrested, Carter holds me in a way he hasn't since our honeymoon. We're in bed, the lights low, and he's tracing patterns on my skin like he's trying to memorize me all over again. I could have lost you, he whispers. If she'd succeeded, if I'd believed her lies. Aaron, I could have lost the best thing in my life. But you didn't. I cup his face, bringing his lips to mine. You trusted me. You chose me. The kiss starts soft but quickly deepens. It's been so long. Even in this timeline we've been too stressed, too focused on dealing with Nora to really be together. But now, with that threat removed, we can finally breathe. Carter's hands slide under my shirt and I arch into his touch. I need you, he breathes against my mouth. Need to feel you, know you're really here. I'm here, I promise, helping him remove my clothes, then his. I'm not going anywhere. We've made love countless times, but this feels different. Urgent and tender all at once. Carter maps my body with his hands and mouth like he's discovering me for the first time, and in a way, perhaps he is. I'm not the Aaron he thought he knew. I'm someone who's lived through hell and clawed his way back to him. When he finally pushes inside me, we both gasp. The stretch, the fullness, the perfect way our bodies fit together, it's overwhelming after so long apart. Aaron, he groans, his length filling me completely as he begins to move. God, you feel incredible. I wrap my legs around his waist, pulling him deeper. Don't stop. Please, Carter, don't stop. He sets a steady rhythm, each thrust sending sparks of pleasure through my body. His lips find mine again, swallowing my moans as he angles his hips to hit that spot inside me that makes me see stars. I love you, he pants, his movements becoming more urgent. Love you so much. Love you too, I manage, my hands clutching at his shoulders as the tension builds. Carter, I'm close. Let go, baby. I've got you. My release crashes over me with the force of 7 years of longing, my body clenching around his length as I cry out his name. Carter follows seconds later, burying himself deep as he shudders through his own climax. We collapse together, breathless and trembling, our bodies still joined. I thought I'd lost this, I admit quietly, tears slipping down my temples. Lost us. Carter kisses them away. Never. We're forever, Aaron. I promise you that. 3 months later, on a quiet Sunday morning, something shifts. Carter wakes with a gasp, his eyes wide and unfocused. I'm immediately alert, concerned. Carter? What's wrong? He looks at me, really looks at me, and there's something different in his gaze. Recognition. Or grief. I remember, he whispers. Aaron, I remember. Not everything, but fragments. You were sick. I made you. Oh God, I made you shave your head. I kept you in the temple. You were starving and I. His face crumples, and suddenly my strong, composed husband is sobbing in my arms. It's okay, I soothe even as my own heart races. He's remembering the original timeline. Carter, it's okay. That didn't happen. Not this time. But it did, he chokes out. In another life, another version of this, I believed Nora's lies. I hurt you. I punished you for sins you never committed. Aaron, you died because of me. I hold him tighter. You didn't know. She fooled both of us. That's no excuse. He pulls back, his face ravaged by guilt. I was your husband. I was supposed to protect you, trust you, love you. Instead, I tortured you. How can you even look at me? Because that version of you doesn't exist anymore, I say firmly. We changed it. We chose differently this time. Carter, you have to let go of that guilt. But I can see it's not that simple. The memories are fragmentary but vivid enough to haunt him. Over the following weeks, more pieces return. The cold meditation hall, my shaved head, my gaunt body, the moment he realized the truth too late. He throws himself into Buddhism again, but this time not as a weapon against me, as penance for sins committed in another life. I don't deserve your forgiveness, he tells me one evening as he lights incense at the small altar we keep in our home. Good thing forgiveness isn't about deserving, I reply, kneeling beside him. It's about love. And I love you, Carter. Every version of you. He turns to me, his eyes still haunted but grateful. Teach me how to make this right. How to be the husband you deserved all along. You already are. You believed me. You protected me. You chose me over your oldest friend. That's everything I needed. Nora's trial becomes a media sensation. The evidence against her is overwhelming, not just what she did to us but the pattern of behavior with her previous victims. The prosecution paints a picture of a woman driven by obsessive delusion to commit increasingly serious crimes. Carter and I attend every day of the trial. It's painful to hear our private lives dissected in public, to relive those early days of her manipulation. But it's also cathartic. On the stand, I tell my story with calm clarity. How my best friend systematically tried to destroy my marriage. How she manufactured evidence and witnesses. How she nearly succeeded. Did you ever suspect her motives? The prosecutor asks. Not until it was almost too late, I admit. I loved her like a sister. I trusted her completely. That's what made her betrayal so devastating. Nora's lawyer tries to paint me as paranoid, as the one who pursued her. But the evidence doesn't support that narrative. The journals, the photos, the testimony from her previous victims, it all tells the same story of obsessive fixation. When the verdict comes back, guilty on all counts, I feel no triumph. Only sadness for the friendship that could have been, the person Nora might have become if she'd gotten help instead of giving in to her obsession. The judge sentences her to 5 years in prison with mandatory psychiatric treatment. As they lead her away, she looks at me one last time. I really did love him, she says quietly. I know, I reply. But love isn't supposed to destroy people. Carter and I leave the courthouse hand in hand, stepping into the sunlight. Reporters shout questions, cameras flash, but we don't stop. We've said everything we needed to say. At home, we finally allow ourselves to breathe. It's over, Carter says, pulling me close on the couch. Really over. It is. I rest my head on his shoulder, feeling the tension of the past months drain away. We can move forward now. I want to do something, he says suddenly. Something meaningful. To honor what we've been through. Like what? He pulls back to look at me. A foundation. For people who've been victims of this kind of manipulation and abuse. Resources, support groups, legal aid. So no one else has to suffer alone the way you did, the way you would have, in that other timeline. Tears prick my eyes. This is so perfectly Carter, taking pain and transforming it into purpose. That's beautiful. I'm in. We spend the rest of the evening planning, dreaming about the future we're going to build together. A future where our suffering means something, where it helps others find hope. 1 year after Nora's sentencing, Carter and I stand before the Aaron and Carter Chin Foundation's new office building. The ribbon-cutting ceremony is small but meaningful. Survivors we've already helped, therapists and lawyers we've partnered with, friends and family who've supported us. This is really happening, I murmur to Carter as we hold the oversized scissors together. Because of you, he replies. Because you survived. Because you gave us a second chance. We cut the ribbon and everyone applauds. Inside, the space is warm and welcoming, nothing like the cold temple rooms of that other life. This is a place of healing, of hope. Over the following months, the foundation flourishes. We help dozens of people escape manipulative relationships, rebuild their lives, find justice. Every person we help feels like a small victory over the darkness that once threatened to consume us. Carter continues his Buddhist practice, but it's transformed into something healthier. He meditates on compassion rather than punishment, on healing rather than penance. Sometimes I join him, finding peace in the silence that once terrified me. I used to think suffering was the path to enlightenment, he tells me one morning as we sit together in meditation. But I was wrong. Suffering is just suffering. It's what we do with it that matters. And what are we doing with it? I ask. Building something beautiful. With you. He takes my hand and we sit in comfortable silence as the sun rises. Our second wedding anniversary, both in this timeline and if you count the years from before, arrives with spring flowers and gentle rain. Carter has planned something special, though he's been secretive about the details. He blindfolds me and leads me carefully through our house. Where are we going? I laugh, trusting him completely. You'll see. When he removes the blindfold, I gasp. Our bedroom has been transformed into a garden paradise. Flowers everywhere, roses, peonies, orchids, all my favorites. Candles flicker in the dimming light, and soft music plays from hidden speakers. Carter, I breathe. This is not enough, he interrupts. It will never be enough to make up for what happened, what I did in that other life. But I want to spend every day of this one showing you how much I love you, how grateful I am that you gave me another chance. He pulls a small box from his pocket and opens it. Inside are 2 new wedding bands, simple platinum with our names engraved inside. Marry me again, he says softly. Right here, right now. Let's renew our vows and promise each other that we'll never let anything come between us again. I'm crying, laughing, nodding all at once. Yes. 1,000 times yes. We exchange rings and vows in the candlelight, just the two of us. When we kiss, it feels like the first time and the 1,000th time all at once. Familiar and thrilling, safe and exciting. I love you, Aaron Chin, Carter murmurs against my lips. I love you, Carter Chin. He walks me backwards to the bed, laying me down gently among the flower petals. Let me show you, he whispers. Let me worship you the way you deserve. And he does. He takes his time, kissing every inch of my skin, murmuring words of love and devotion. When he finally removes our clothes, his touch is reverent, like I'm something precious and sacred. You're so beautiful, he says, his hands gliding over my body. Have I told you that today? Only 3 times, I tease breathlessly. Not enough. He kisses down my chest, my stomach, lower. You're beautiful and brilliant and brave, and I'm the luckiest man alive. His mouth on me is heaven, and I arch into his touch, gasping his name. He brings me to the edge and pulls back again and again until I'm begging. Please, Carter. Need you. He moves back up my body, his length pressing against me, and I spread my legs wider in invitation. When he slides inside, we both moan at the perfect connection. Never letting you go, he promises, beginning to move with deep, slow strokes. Never doubting you. Never losing sight of how precious you are. Carter, I gasp, wrapping my arms and legs around him, pulling him deeper. I'm yours. Always have been. The rhythm builds, tender and passionate, our bodies moving together like they were made for this. When I reach between us to stroke my own length, Carter gently moves my hand away. Let me, he breathes, wrapping his hand around me, matching his strokes to his thrusts. The dual sensation is overwhelming. I'm going to. Let go, baby. I want to feel you. My climax hits like a wave, pleasure rolling through every nerve as I tighten around him. Carter follows immediately, gasping my name as he finds his release deep inside me. We stay joined, foreheads pressed together, breathing in sync. Thank you, he whispers. For what? For loving me. For fighting for us. For giving me the chance to be the man you deserve. I kiss him softly. You always worked, Carter. You just needed to see it. 5 years after my rebirth, I wake on an ordinary Tuesday morning to find Carter already awake, watching me with soft eyes. Good morning, I murmur, stretching luxuriously in the morning light. Morning beautiful. He brushes my hair back from my face, hair that's long and healthy that I'll never have to shave again. I was just thinking. About that dream you had. The one at the beginning where you lost me. Do you still have nightmares about it? I consider the question. Sometimes. But they're getting rarer. And when I wake up, you're always here. Always, he promises. I've been thinking about that other timeline a lot lately. The memories are clearer now. I can see so clearly how I failed you. Carter? Let me finish. He takes my hand. I failed you then. I chose dogma over love, certainty over trust, punishment over compassion. I let someone else's poison infect what we had, and I didn't fight for you the way you fought for me. That was a different version of you. Was it? Or was it just who I became when I wasn't being vigilant? When I let fear and pride override everything else? He shakes his head. I never want to be that man again, Aaron. So I'm making you a promise. I'm writing it down, carrying it with me, reading it every single day to remind myself. He pulls a folded paper from his nightstand and opens it. The writing is his careful script. I promise to trust Aaron's word above all others. I promise to communicate before I assume. I promise to protect our love from outside influence. I promise to choose compassion over judgment. I promise to never use my faith as a weapon. I promise to see Aaron as the blessing he is, every single day. I promise to be worthy of the second chance I've been given. By the time he finishes reading, we're both crying. You've already kept every one of those promises, I tell him. Every single day for 5 years. And I'll keep keeping them. For the rest of our lives. The foundation continues to grow. We've helped over 300 people now with offices in 5 cities. Some of our early clients have become volunteers, paying forward the support they received. One afternoon, a young man comes in for his intake interview. His name is David, and his story is heartbreakingly familiar. A partner who isolated him, a friend who manipulated them both, years of gaslighting and abuse. I sit with him as he tells his story, and I see myself in his haunted eyes. Does it get better? He asks quietly. Will I ever feel normal again? Better than normal, I promise. You'll feel free. And you'll be stronger than you ever imagined possible. But it takes time and work and the right support. Did something like this happen to you? I glance at Carter, who's observing from across the room. He nods slightly, giving permission to share. Yes, I tell David. Someone I trusted tried to destroy my marriage through lies and manipulation. She very nearly succeeded. But my husband chose to believe me, chose to fight for us. And that made all the difference. I don't have anyone fighting for me, David says, his voice breaking. You do now. We are. The whole team here is. You're not alone anymore, David. When he leaves an hour later with a folder full of resources and a support group schedule, Carter wraps his arms around me from behind. You're amazing, he murmurs into my hair. The way you connect with people, the hope you give them. I can only do it because you gave me hope first. Because you showed me that love is stronger than lies. That evening we have dinner with Carter's meditation group. The healthy one he joined 3 years ago, focused on compassion and mindfulness rather than rigid doctrine. The other members have become good friends, and they celebrate with us as we announce the Foundation's latest expansion. To Aaron and Carter, someone toasts. May your love continue to light the way for others. We clink glasses and I catch Carter's eye across the table. He mouths, I love you, and I mouth it back. Later, as we're leaving, one of the group members pulls me aside. I hope this isn't too forward, she says hesitantly, but I wanted to thank you. My daughter was in an abusive relationship, and your foundation helped her escape. She's rebuilding her life now, and it's because of what you and Carter built. You saved her. I hug her tightly, tears streaming down my face. Thank you for telling me. That's why we do this. In the car on the way home, I can't stop smiling despite the tears. What are you thinking about? Carter asks, taking my hand as he drives. How different everything is. In that other life, I died alone and broken, believing I was worthless. In this one, I'm helping people heal, married to the love of my life, building something meaningful. It's like living in a dream. It's not a dream. It's what we chose. What we fought for. What we continue to choose every single day. I'm so glad I got a second chance. That we got a second chance. He brings my hand to his lips, kissing my knuckles. So am I, baby. So am I. Years after my rebirth, Carter and I stand in the garden behind our new house. A larger place we needed to accommodate our growing family of rescue dogs and the constant stream of friends and Foundation colleagues who visit. The lotus pond we installed last year is in full bloom, the pink and white flowers floating serenely on the surface. Do you know the symbolism of the lotus? Carter asks, standing behind me with his arms around my waist. Tell me. It grows in muddy water, pushing up through the darkness to bloom in the light. It's a symbol of enlightenment, of spiritual awakening, of rising above suffering to find beauty. Like us, I say softly. Like you. You pushed through the darkness of that other life, through death itself, to bloom again. To give us both another chance. I turn in his arms, looking up at the man I love more than life itself. His hair is starting to show threads of silver now, and there are laugh lines around his eyes, marks of a life well lived, full of joy instead of sorrow. We did it together, I correct. I couldn't have done it alone. You shouldn't have to do anything alone. Not anymore. Not ever. He kisses me then, soft and sweet, with all the tenderness of 10 years of choosing each other, every single day. When we pull apart, he has something in his hand, a small lotus flower he must have picked while we were talking. For you, he says. A reminder that even in our darkest moments, beauty and hope are possible. That love really can conquer all. I take the flower, its petals soft against my fingers. I love you, Carter Chin. I love you, Aaron Chin. In this life and whatever comes after. We stand together in our garden, surrounded by blooming lotus flowers, and I know with absolute certainty that we've won. Not just against Nora's manipulations but against fate itself. We chose love. We chose trust. We chose each other. And that has made all the difference. Later that night, in the comfort of our bedroom, Carter makes love to me with the tenderness and passion that have only deepened over the years. His touch is sure and knowing, his kisses trail fire across my skin, and when he finally pushes his length inside me, we both sigh with the rightness of it. Forever, he breathes against my lips as we move together. Forever, I agree, my body arching to meet his thrusts. And as we tumble over the edge together, our voices joining in pleasure and love, I send up a silent prayer of gratitude, for second chances, for true love, for the strength to fight for what matters most. The lotus has bloomed twice and this time nothing will make it wither. The evening air is cool against my skin as Carter and I return from our garden walk. The scent of lotus flowers still clings to us, sweet and delicate, like the memory of all we've overcome together. You're quiet, Carter observes as we enter our bedroom, his hand warm in mine. Just thinking, I reply, turning to face him, about how grateful I am. For you. For this life we've built. His eyes soften and he cups my face gently. Show me. It's not a demand, merely an invitation. Everything with Carter is an invitation these days. A request for my participation, my consent, my joy. Never an assumption. Never a command. I answer by kissing him, slow and deep, pouring 10 years of love and gratitude into the press of our lips. His hands slide into my hair, long and healthy the way he loves it, and he sighs contentedly against my mouth. I'll never tire of this, he murmurs. Of you. Good, I whisper back, smiling. Because you're stuck with me. We undress each other with practiced ease, hands gentle and reverent. There's no rush tonight, no urgency. Just the quiet intimacy of two people who know each other's bodies as well as their own souls. Carter guides me to the bed, laying me down on the soft sheets like I'm something precious. And perhaps to him I am. You're so beautiful, Aaron, he says, his gaze roaming over me with open appreciation. More beautiful every day. I reach for him, pulling him down beside me. Flattery will get you everywhere. It's not flattery if it's true. His hand traces patterns on my chest, my stomach, moving lower with gentle intent. When his fingers wrap around my cucumber, I gasp softly at the contact. Even after all these years, his touch still makes my heart race. Sensitive tonight? He asks with a knowing smile. Always with you. He strokes me slowly, teasingly, while his lips find mine again. The dual sensation makes me squirm with pleasure, pressing closer to his warmth. Carter, I breathe. Please. Please, what, love? Tell me what you want. You. I want you. He reaches for the bottle on our nightstand, warming the lubricant between his fingers before touching me intimately. I spread my legs wider, inviting him in, trusting him completely. His fingers prepare me with patient care, stretching and readying me while he whispers sweet words against my skin. So perfect, so responsive. I love watching you like this. Less talking, I manage, though I'm smiling. More doing. He chuckles, withdrawing his fingers and positioning himself between my thighs. When his cucumber presses against my entrance, I take a deep breath and nod. Ready? He asks, always checking, always making sure. Always ready for you. He pushes in slowly, giving me time to adjust to the intrusion. The stretch is familiar now, welcome, a homecoming of sorts. When he's fully seated inside me, we both pause, breathing together. Okay, he murmurs. Perfect, I assure him, wrapping my legs around his waist. You can move. He does, setting a gentle rhythm that's tender rather than passionate, loving rather than lustful. This isn't about chasing release, it's about connection, about being as close as two people can possibly be. His cucumber fills me completely with each gentle thrust, and I sigh with contentment. This is what I fought for, what I endured death itself to reclaim. Not just the physical pleasure, though that's wonderful, but this feeling of being loved, cherished, wanted. I love you, Carter says, his forehead pressed to mine as he moves inside me. Every version of you in every lifetime. I love you too, I whisper back, my hands caressing his back, his shoulders, trying to pull him impossibly closer. We make love like this for long, unhurried minutes, our bodies rocking together in perfect harmony. Carter's cucumber slides in and out of me with practiced ease, hitting that sweet spot inside that makes me moan softly. There? He asks, angling slightly. Yes, right there. Don't stop. He maintains that angle, that rhythm, building pleasure slowly like a tide coming in. His hand finds my cucumber, stroking in time with his thrusts, and the combined sensations make my toes curl. Getting close, I murmur, feeling the familiar tension building low in my belly. Me too. Together? Together. He increases his pace just slightly, and I arch beneath him, chasing the pleasure that's been building. When my release finally comes, it's gentle but overwhelming, warmth spreading through my entire body as I clench around his cucumber. Carter follows moments later, gasping my name as he empties himself inside me. We cling to each other through the aftershocks, trembling and breathless. He collapses beside me rather than on top of me, immediately pulling me close so we're face to face. Thank you, he whispers, brushing damp hair from my forehead. For what? For choosing me. For giving us this second chance. For loving me even when I didn't deserve it. I kiss him softly. You've always deserved it, Carter. You just had to see it yourself. We lie together in comfortable silence, our bodies still joined, neither of us wanting to break the connection just yet. His hand strokes my back in soothing patterns while I rest my head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. What are you thinking about? He asks after a while. How different this is from that other life. How there, I died believing I was unloved and unwanted. And here, I'm lying in bed with my husband after making love, feeling more cherished than I ever thought possible. His arms tighten around me. I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you always feel cherished. That's a promise. I know. You already do. Eventually we separate and clean up, but we quickly return to bed, seeking each other's warmth. Carter spoons behind me, his arm draped over my waist, his breath warm against my neck. Sweet dreams, my love, he murmurs, already drifting towards sleep. Sweet dreams, Carter. As I close my eyes, I'm filled with overwhelming gratitude. For second chances. For true love. For the man who chose to believe in me, to fight for us, to build this beautiful life together. The lotus bloomed twice, and this time nothing will make it wither. This time love has won.